Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kiwi Bike Browser. This evening we're going to go through, have a look through the latest listings. There's a few interesting ones that have popped up in the past 24 hours. Namely, Turner's Auctions or Turner's Bikes have been going absolutely ham on their listings for the start of 2024. But we'll see more of that shortly. Kicking off things, we've got 8,488 results. A little bit slower compared to the start of summer last year when there was over 10,500. Quite a significant drop off, but that's a good thing. It means that people have bought these bikes, they're getting them out there, and they're riding them. Anyway, let's get a quick start with the Suzuki VS800 located in Wellington City. Could be quite a low reserve, middling to high Ks on this one as well, but the VS800 is actually a really decent bike compared to, say, the Suzuki Savage, the 650 single that they have. This would be the better choice. However, it's not LAMS approved. With it being an 800cc V-twin, it's just got too much power, too many cc's in that wee engine there. But man, it would be such a good bike to progress onto. Water cooled, plenty more power, and roughly around about the same size. And I mean that bar too. Having ridden the Savage, I can tell you that probably the profile of the bike would feel very similar to the LS650. Anyway, moving on. So this one's in Wellington, closes the 17th of Jan. 2007, so yeah, pretty old bike, but it's okay. Yeah, here we go, take note, it's not LAMS approved. No need rego or revenue to be done, it's ready to ride away. WOF expires May 2024. That's good. Still coming up though. Wonder how the tyres are. Registration is good for Feb as well. Good stuff. Got the original set of mufflers, pillion backrest, and the fake air cleaner. Sold as is wearers. So, anytime I see that, I go, right, they're doing their due diligence from a seller's perspective, but it means go out and look at the bike, people. I have been stung before with purchasing a motorcycle that has not been fit for purpose when it arrived off the back of the truck. Couldn't get a WOF with it, all kinds of stuff. And that was a cruiser too. That would be my first bike, a Honda Rebel 250, actually, the old CMX. Anyway, starting price 350, reserve not met, so I'm not too sure what the reserve would be on this one. My guess at a stab, I'm going to say they're going to be wanting probably high threes, so maybe $3,800 reserve for this one at a stab. But we'll see. We'll see. Moving on now. Dirty. Cool. One of the 790 KTM Adventur R bikes. Down in Dunedin, older Makiva. I don't know how to say that. Makiva and Veach. Really good dealer. They specialise in quite a few of the BMW or higher end European bikes as well. Yeah, Mornington, Dunedin. Definitely worth checking out. I'd love to get down there at some point and do a dealer video or a dealer deep dive to see sort of how they run their business, but in particular their workshop. I imagine they get quite a few clients coming through, maybe with the last minute repairs as they're doing the South Island tour, who knows. But in any case, quite a neat, tidy looking bike. I am a bit fond of the KTM bikes, particularly their adventure bikes. I think they're brilliantly put together, really well made. It's not too bad of a price, although I haven't been following the 790 Adventur Rs. But hey, if you're into ADV bikes, me personally, not at this particular time in my life, but who knows. Alright, skipping on now to dirty scoot. Cool, the Suzuki VL250. Complete contrast to what we saw up above with the VS800. This being, of course, the lunar bike. The VL250 is known as the Intruder. Can't quite recall. Oh, this is one of our Turner's bikes one. And it is one of the only Turner bikes, or I guess there's a few Turner's bikes, but one of the only ones that's actually still registered for road use. However, it has an issue. Starter motor issue, not able to wind over properly. It has no kickstart on this bike. You'll be crash starting this thing if you want to get it and ride away. But who knows? That could be quite an easy fix. I mean, there's no better way to get into motorcycling than to buy a bike that is broken, learn how it works, pull it to bits, get it working, put it back together, and then ride it away. I've done the same thing with a Suzuki VTR250, and it was a brilliant exercise and huge motivation to get it ready before the summer, of course. But hey, Turner's bikes, this one in particular, whereabouts is it based? Have a look through here. I'm going to say they usually have like a little placard at the top that says where it is. I might have missed it. It says here 133. Oh no, Auckland City. The thing is with the Turners Bikes account, it all says Auckland City. You'll see what I mean in a moment, but let's have a flick through here. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Not too sure where in the country this one might be. It might be up in Auckland, but definitely reach out to the contact person there if you're keen and interested. But it could be anywhere for all I'm concerned. It does say VL250 Auckland, so yeah, I'm pretty confident they do have the bike in Auckland. They just put it in a funky place, that's all. But as I mentioned at the start of the video, Turners Bikes are really ramping things up. They've put a lot of listings out there. Looking at this Vespa, for example, there you go. So they've got in the first image located in Auckland plastered across the top because Turners Bikes do the listings for all the Turners branches around the country, not just the ones in Auckland. Man, I think that's a really, really funky bike. I can't tell if it's broken or if it really does have a single-sided front end there. I'm not really into my scooters. I do have a good friend of mine that had a Vespa scooter riding that around Auckland, taking the kids to school, all kinds of great stuff, and had nothing but nice things to say about it. But sadly, I dare say that this one has been written off, deregistered off the road. But hey, have a trawl through TradeMe this evening or at any other time over the next couple of weeks, and you will see quite a few of these bikes coming up. XR150 in Hamilton, for example. Man, quite a few farmer bikes or dirt bikes. Quite a bit of clearing out to do. I dare say this GSX-R 1000 might be in that same category as well. Yep, Turners Bikes again, fantastic. Looking at that, man, you can't beat this sort of setup as a bike, as a track bike, you know what I mean? If you get yourself a nice Gixxer or an SV or something else, you're looking at a really decent track bike. But it looks like this one might have lived that life in any case, because the telltale sign being the rear wheel, lack of license plate, all the other bits and pieces. So insurance write-off, but insurance write-off on the track, I'm willing to guess here. There could be some really good parts and accessories that you want to pull off this one onto your other track bike if you've got it, but you never know. Let's have a flick through here. Knowing that Turners don't really do deep dives into their descriptions, it's probably going to be worth checking out. But that one is in Auckland if you're interested. Alright, moving on now. Here we go. Turners Auctions listing an XV750 in Timaru. That looks like a bent up bike though, unfortunately. Man, it is a real shame. Every single time I see a bike trashed, yeah, it's just, I know the struggle it is to actually get a bike back on the road. But heck, still registered, so you never know. It might be an easier time if you're down in Timaru. It could be a cheap fix. Moving on now, they do have a really good candidate here for a track bike. Suzuki SV650, 2011 model. 44,000 Ks on the clock. Barely broken in, these SVs are so reliable. I read through the description for this one earlier and I'm quite sure it mentioned that it had some dents on the right hand side, like a dent in the tank. And I mean, if that's it, hey, perfect track bike, it's good to go. It looks really clean actually, nice aftermarket pipe. Some sliders on there already. That might have saved the rest of the bike actually in the drop. But man, I'm not really seeing much in the way of damage. Wait, is that the CDI? For some reason he's got a Mitsubishi CDI or something on next to the bike in the photos. That is like a CDI or a ECU or something. I don't know what that has to do with the bike. Hopefully the bike is still running. I mean, if he's got the key in it, and you can still see the Odo, then chances are it is. Alright, not too much in the way of damage. Alright, let's take a look at the description here. Okay, damaged bike, dent, right side tank. The bike is deregistered. Honestly, it looks fine. Engine started on arrival, however, no mechanical inspection has been done on the bike. Oil in engine and water in radiator. Could be a flood damage one, so maybe advise a little bit of caution with this one. If it's just a wee dent on the right hand side, a dent on the right hand side of the tank, I wouldn't be looking at an insurance write-off. I would definitely do some due diligence on this one, ladies and gentlemen. In any case, hey, it could be a nice cheap track bike, but they're asking for $5,330. No reserve. You could get one that isn't deregistered for that price. I mean, come on. You'd expect it to be a bit cheaper than that, but hey, shoot your shot there, Turners. Flicking through, looks like got some double ups on there before. Dirt, scoot. R7. Relatively recent model too. Man, some really low resolution photos there too. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're fine. Tuner, DVA. What are we looking at here? Looks like it's missing something on the windshield, maybe? Slider looks like it might be slightly bent forward as well. Yeah, okay, so it is a right side drop. Man, that's not that much damage. A little bit to the plastics. Engine casing looks like it's fine. That slider definitely did its job. Oh yeah. An indicator fix? I mean, come on. Surely this can't be a write-off. I mean, the R7 is just such a decent bike. Strange that it's got a little bit of damage on that left-hand side slider as well. Strange. I'm wondering if it went one way and then the other. Like into a ditch or something. There's definitely a bit more damage in the rear. If that's the... Ooh, okay. Oh, I did not see that one happen. I mean, that is definitely not an air vent, not a ram air intake, but... single key, maybe? Alright, I dare say this one is going to be the insurance write-off. Yep, deregistered. Cool. Damage. Pants gear. Okay, we're talking about a bike here, but sure. Left and right panels damage. Yep, hole in gas tank. Bike does not start due to flat battery. Suspect mechanical damage as well. Oil and engine, water and radiator, 1 key available. Damaged bike. Again, you got to go along and check it out, but I mean, the reserve's met. It's a low reserve auction, so you could get yourself a bargain there. Either if you need parts for your engine or even a cheap track bike, you never know. Alright, moving on now. G6R 600. Oh, another beautiful Gixxer from the Auckland branch. Fantastic. I do have a soft spot for Gixxers. They're very, very nice bikes. I mean, this one's looking pretty clean. Again, I mean, those Auckland floods, they put so many bikes in the damaged insurance write-off market. I imagine track days are just going to be flooded with new riders. This one, however, looks like it's just had maybe a right side scuff. Relatively low speed one, perhaps. That's a bad sign that there's no lights on the dash. Mind you, there's no key in the ignition, is there, Ruben? Don't worry about it, don't stress. I usually take photos with it, showing you the auto on the screen. This one being fully deregistered. Definitely damaged bike. Accident damage, yep. Possibly suffered structural damage. That's the issue with putting these bikes back on the road, is the suspicion that the frame is now out of whack, right? And from what I hear, that's the largest cost you have to cover, is to verify that thing is straight and true before it goes back on the road. All the other electrics and everything else can be fine, but if the NZTA doesn't know that the frame is straight as narrow, then they're probably not going to give you the registration for it, are they? Honda Hornet. Do we have a... Looks like it could be a 600. No, 250. Man, I get confused. These Honda Hornets, they can look deceptively large. It looks like another right side drop. Man, what is it with dropping on the right side, eh? I like that exhaust. I'm not going to lie. That I have not seen one of those on a Hornet before, or any bike for that matter. That's a very interesting angle of attack for that exhaust pipe. Does it have? Yeah, surely it's got clearance for the rear swing arm. In any case, it looks like it's had a bit of a rough life. I mean, it had a paint job at some point, and this one might be a little bit too far gone, but we'll see. Let's have a look here. 65,000 Ks. I mean, it's a low reserve auction. It's going to be deregistered. It could be a cheap 250 class track bike for you. Again, I'll say the same thing as I said with the other ones. It's just worth going out and taking a look at. Okay, we'll probably skip a few more of these Turners ones, but you can see what I mean. They've just gone absolutely ham on putting up these damaged bikes. I mean, some of them are damaged, some of them are fine. This one is still registered, for example, if you want a X-Mail delivery bike. Oh, mate, I remember probably about 5 or 6 years ago now, Turners were selling all the New Zealand Post postie bikes once they replaced them with either push bikes or whatever those electric four-wheel buggy things are, and I was so tempted to get one. If you're going to do like some serious travel in the back country, this would be a pretty fun bike to do it on. I'm not going to lie. There's a reason why they're chosen. They're just super reliable, super fun little bikes. Hey, this one's at Turners Mount Maunganui. It's only 26 bucks at the moment, still registered, still road legal. Could get amongst it. Right, moving on. Oh, what else do we have here? You know, I'm not going to deep dive into this one because I immediately turned my nose up at a 240 kilo adventure bike where they're asking $31,000 as a buy now, especially with 20,000 Ks on the clock. Like, I get the nice bikes, but I mean, that's almost close to new asking price, you know, maybe about 8 grand's difference. And this one's had 20,000 Ks on it. I mean, take your pick. Another one of those 110s, V-Rod. All right, we'll do one more page and then we'll call it a night, eh? Scoot. Oh, what do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, that is absolutely stunning. Triumph T120 1968. Look at the chrome on that thing. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely stunning. I tell you what, if you wanted a bike that looked like an aircraft, and I'm talking like a World War II era Spitfire or something else, this would be the one to get. It is so elegantly put together. It has the British heritage. It's got a little bit of work done to it with the K&N filters and the aftermarket pipes. Look at the rear tail tidy as well. There's definitely been some love put into this. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I'm sold. That is a beautiful bike. Well done to whoever's put that together. All right, let's find out a bit more about you. Right, 650cc parallel twin from 1968. Registration expires December this year, so you got a full year of love on that bike if you decide to purchase it. WOF expires middle of the year. Right, so selling on behalf of this one-of-a-kind custom-built Triumph. Owners have had this for years. As you can see, it literally lives in the lounge. Why wouldn't it? It is a piece of art. 300k since full overhaul or rebuild of the whole bike. It's basically new and refurbished, complete alloy polish tank. As you can see, not a single repair of the bike has completely polished alloy. As you can see, not a single repair over the bike is completely polished. Right, okay, so there's no patches is what they're trying to say. Kilometers are stated on the gauge, front forks, new rear shocks, all custom parts, new exhaust. A lot more money spent on than the asking price. Well, there you go. Better off seeing and talking to the owner for the complete rundown. PM for video of it running with a brand new helmet as well for asking price. Don't miss out on this unique bike. Definitely don't. $25,000, where is it? Nelson. Oh, beautiful. What a beautiful work of art. I mean, I'm hovering over the watch list there, but to be fair, it's a collector's item. It's just not my collector's item, right? If I'm going to collect something, I'm going to be looking for a bike that will become a classic. I don't have the money to be looking for an already classic bike, if you know what I'm saying. So good luck to you. If you are a bike collector and you're looking for something that just looks out of this world, drop dead gorgeous, and you want to get that World War II Spitfire era looking bike, this will be the one to go for. All that British heritage. It is just lovely. What a wonderful bike. That's fantastic. All right, we've got here G310R, pretty stock standard. Hey, these are coming out pretty cheap now. I mean, look at this one, 5,300 bucks. It's got the crash cage on it. It's got some bar ends. I don't know what purpose they serve. Maybe just to protect your levers if you drop the bike. Stock pipes. This one's probably only going to have like, what, 12,000 Ks on the clock? Where are we? Yeah, 12,000 Ks. Hey, that was a guess. What a guess. Mind you, I might have subconsciously just seen the amount of Ks in the main listing. Not bad. Up in Auckland. Hey, I mean, the G310R is a brilliant learner's bike. I definitely don't knock it. Well worth taking a look. I mean, I wish I had that kind of bike to learn on when I first started. I had a 250 single, the CBR 250R, the 2011 model. It was perfectly fine. No way. No way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a brand spanking new Honda CB750 Predator with, might be a little bit of an aftermarket screen. Definitely the stickers on the wheels or something I haven't seen before. Yeah, so it's been accessorized a wee bit, not too much, not overly done. Was that a rear carrier? Yeah. So rear pack rack. Sadly, stock exhaust. These things go really well with an arrow on them. Definitely recommend those if you're looking for an aftermarket pipe. No tail tidy or anything else, but I mean, this bike is stunning in red and white. But my goodness, 2,000 Ks. That is unbelievable. It is basically a brand new bike and you're saving yourself, what, 3 grand? That's cheaper than demo price. I mean, why wouldn't you? Seller located in Kapiti, Wellington. That is a good pick. That is a good deal. It's a fantastic deal. If you've taken a CB750 Predator out, like I have, and you've fallen in love with it, that's a fantastic bargain. Look, I mean, the thing that I didn't like about the CB750 was it had a bit of lurch. You know, when you're in a corner, you're kind of leaning into it, maybe you back off on the throttle a wee bit to slow down, or maybe you pull a bit of throttle to kind of stand the bike back up. The bike kind of, it dived. For me, it lurched. It moved too far forward and backwards. It was almost like, I don't know what, the front suspension was too soft, or I don't know what's going on, but maybe it's just the matching of the way the bike performs. But I do know that it's got that dialable engine braking on the screen. You can basically, there's 3 settings for like traction control, power, and the engine braking, right? So I turned the engine braking all the way off. I turned the power all the way down. I tried all the different settings to get rid of this lurch that I was feeling, and there was nothing. But I mean, look at that. This bike has been ridden. Fantastic. That's, if you see that kind of tearing of the front tyre, this bike has been ridden for those 2,000 Ks. I don't care what you say. Man, it might have been a little bit rough on the braking. Can we get a picture of the rear? How's the rear looking? Oh, they've been a little bit cagey with the picture of the rear. Enhance. I'm not seeing it. Can't really get a good angle on it, but wait, maybe that one there. Yeah, no, this bike has been ridden. Oh, good on you. That is fantastic. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, so, hey, a bike that's been ridden well, hasn't been dropped, ridden hard, but, I mean, that's what this bike is designed to do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is getting my pick of the week as a bargain. It's something you should go for. Anytime you can buy a second-hand motorcycle with accessories that you have not paid the retail price for, you're getting a deal. Anytime you can buy a bike that is like brand new, like within the past year, with less than 10,000 Ks on it, you're getting a deal. This is my pick for this evening. Honda CB750 2023, 2,000 Ks on the clock. It's going to have registration for 6 months now, and I mean, it's going to be WOF for Africa because brand new models, I think, have what, 2 years? 2 or 3 years, something like that, with no WOF. That is a good pick. Down in Kapiti with Onimus 007, give them a call, 027 812 9633. Fantastic bike. Brilliant deal. Way to go. I might have to end on that one, but we're almost at the bottom of the page, ladies and gentlemen. R9T, I am very fond of the R9Ts. It is a beautiful bike at Boyd's Motorcycles in Hamilton. Oh, stunning. I love the spoke wheels. I love the cafe racer look. I don't know what BMW changed over the past 3 years, maybe since 2018. They've kind of refreshed their lineup, but they have definitely been pouring some love into the design of their motorcycles, and I like what I'm seeing. Oh, it's got a beautiful Akrapovic exhaust. Oh, I can't look anymore. It's like, to be fair, if you're looking for a collector's bike, I mean, if I had that $21,000 and we're talking between the Triumph and this thing, I'm going to get this thing, right? Because I'm going to ride the living snot out of that bike, and it's only got 2,000 Ks on the clock. Take your pick, right? Benelli, not for me. Again, an adventure bike or an ADV bike or a tourer, sports tourer, whatever you want to call it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a more road-orientated ADV-looking style bike. I mean, yeah, they're cheap. They come straight out of China. I'm not going to knock a bike that I haven't ridden, but having sat on one, I'm like, this is too big for me. There is too much going on. There is too much wrapped around this little 500cc parallel twin for me to have any joy with it. But I appreciate what they're doing, because there needs to be more bikes in that 500, 600cc bracket coming onto the market, but they just need to be a wee bit lighter. I forget what the weight on the Benelli TRK 502 is. If you give me 2 ticks, I'll probably be able to find out for you. But yeah, I mean, maybe I should take one out for a ride. How heavy is the Benelli TRK 502? What I have ridden is I rode that DFL looking clone from Benelli. You know the one that I'm talking about. I can't remember the model for the life of me. And I mean, the engine was perfectly fine. I like the seat height. The suspension sucked. The brakes were okay. Right, 213 kilos is the final answer that I've got on this one. I'm guessing that's going to be wet. Yeah, 213 kilos for a learner bike. Yeah, I mean, if you're a big fella or lady, I mean, it could be for you. I mean, look at the V-Strom on the other hand. I don't think this would be the AU learner approved model. Heck, I don't even know if there was a AU version of the V-Strom, like a learner approved one. There must be, surely. I'll have to do some research after this. But in any case, that's a good bike. They're reliable, they're proven, they will last you a lifetime. I mean, this one's only got under 1,000 Ks on the clock. What? Unbelievable. I saw one for sale in Levin come up about a month ago that had 146,000 kilometers on it. These bikes go the distance, they really do. And I mean, if you're comparing, do I spend 10.5 grand on a reliable, proven, good Japanese ADV bike, or do I go back and get myself a $8,000 Chinese clone that, and it hasn't proven itself just yet, but it might? Take your pick. I'm not going to judge you for it, but hey. Moving on now, another old Triumph body, beautiful. I'll skip past that for now. So dirt. Royal Enfield Continental GT. Hey, good bike, cheap price. I don't knock Royal Enfields at all. Got a good mate who owns one. They're just not for me. Moving on. Oh, beautiful Indian there. Quacker. Here we go. Now we're talking. One of the greatest motorcycles ever made. One of my most favourite motorcycles I've ever owned. Admittedly, I had a 2006 Honda VFR 800, had about 53,000 Ks on the clock when I got it. And I mean, these ones are broken in. If you look at Richie Vita on YouTube and his beautiful silver steed VFR 800, previous generation to this one, I believe, it is absolutely amazing the amount of Ks that he has clocked up on it. Taking it around Europe, taking it to the States. It's just the king of the sports tourer. It really is, and it has to be ridden. For me though, I loved everything about the bike except for the weight. This thing is 1/4 of a ton. It is heavy. You don't really feel it in the corners, but you do feel it when you're living with it. Sorry, I got distracted there for a second. So I would highly recommend it. If you haven't ridden a VFR 800 before, you must get after it. These are amazing bikes. And I mean, the brakes, oh my God, the brakes. When you jam on the front brakes, there's like a little pivot point on the front brake lever, and it actuates the rear cylinder as well. So what you end up getting is a combined braking system. And I wonder if this one's got ABS. Don't believe so, but it's almost like they don't need ABS. They come to a stop so well. The whole bike just squats down. Yeah, really, really good, really well balanced. These bikes do get hot though. That's the only thing. They're not that great around town. They love to be out in the open road. That's in the twisties. It's where they belong. Brilliant, beautiful all-round bike. The VTEC is just such a thing to live for. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, that is a bargain price. If you're in Tauranga and you're looking for a good bike, and in particular looking for a sports tourer, do not pass this up. $5,500 starting price. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. Honestly, firm it up. You must go. Whew. Unfortunately, the rider has gone to a BMW 1200 GS. They must love the weight. Love it. New WOF and Rego, so registration May 2024, WOF October 2024. New Pirelli tyres, just fitted, oil change, air filter. Yes, comes with the passenger handles and a rack, heated hand grips. Bike's great, no problem. At the moment, bike is set up for a shorter rider. Oh, you beauty, thank you. My short kings and queens out there, this is the bike for you. I didn't have an adjusted VFR 800 and I am a short ass. The thing I did adjust on the bike was the rear exhaust. Tell you what, these stain tunes that come out of Australia, I don't know how you can get your hands on them, but they are the best sounding pipe for this bike. What I ended up doing was taking the exhaust off the bike and gutting it, and if you want to hear what that sounds like, just look up VFR 800 OEM exhaust compared to gutted or something like that. It's under my personal channel, Ruben Ellett. Look it up, you'll find it. But yeah, for the money that I paid for the exhaust, guys, to pull out the baffles and gut it, and it sounded so much better. It just had that burble and rumble and, oh, so good. You can't beat a good VF4 any day of the week. Absolutely. I gotta say it, it's going on the wish list. Oh, sorry, watch list. Don't tell my wife I said that. It's going on the watch list. Beautiful bike, well set up. Oh, tempting, tempting, tempting. Anyway, moving on now. Harley, Moto Guzzi Breva. Man, it's a very recent listing. I don't know why it's closing so soon, but yeah. Anyway, that's us. 3 pages in. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. As a quick recap, if we look at my 2 picks for this evening, the 3rd of January 2024, we have, top of the list, a Honda CB750, the Predator, the reimagined Predator. Now, what I don't know is if this bike has got the quick shifter on it, but if it doesn't, it's worth paying the money to get it. Absolutely. Having ridden the GSX 8S, which comes out with the factory quick shifter, it is something you need if you own this bike and you're going to thrash the living daylights out of it like this owner has. You want the quick shifter. It is amazing. Absolutely. It's a good bargain. It's just rolled off the factory floor. It has had a good laugh over the past 2,000 Ks of I don't even know what the break-in period for these things are, but oh, honestly, buy it. With the money that you save from getting a new one, put a beautiful Arrow exhaust on it, you will have and a quick shifter, you will have 0 regrets. If you're in Kapiti, Wellington, or anyone in the Wellington region, buy it. That is a good deal. Next up, the Honda VFR 800, because, well, I've owned one, had it for over a year, which is a new record for me, and it is an amazing bike. The only thing I don't like is the weight. And just the livability of it in the city traffic and sort of overheating a wee bit. Those side radiators just don't kind of cut the mustard when you're only moving 10 Ks an hour. But honestly, well worth it. It is the quintessential sports tourer. Just be aware it is slightly on the chunky side, okay? But yeah, honestly, well worth it. Again, Honda CB750, Honda VFR 800, check them out. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I have been your host for Kiwi Bike Browser, Ruben Ellett. I will be back whenever I'm back, probably in a day or two, and we'll do a bit of a recap. Thank you so much for joining me. Safe riding, everyone.